Langsdorff, sensing danger, orders Graf Spee to turn 150 degrees northwest, retreating under smoke. In an instant, an 11-inch shell bursts near Achilles Bridge. Exeter fires her port torpedoes, turning northeast to join Ajax and Achilles. Exeter, burning amidships with a 7-degree list, continues to fire her aft turret at Graf Spee under manual control. Graf Spee turns to port, seemingly to finish Exeter. August 1939. The world sits on the brink of war. Britain's Royal Navy exerts considerable influence in the Atlantic, its large network of ships safeguarding vital trade routes and commercial interests. Across the North Sea, however, Germany's High Command secretly plans to invade Poland. A move they know risks sparking war with Britain and France. To weaken Britain before conflict erupts, they target its supply lines, aiming to disrupt commerce without challenging the Royal Navy's superior forces in open battle. The North and South Atlantic are the heart of British trade. Germany plans to deploy commerce raiders to disrupt these routes, targeting merchant ships where activity is most intense. To execute the plan, the Third Reich deploys one of its 3 Deutschland-class Panzerschiff, designed for long-range commerce raiding to the South Atlantic. The fearsome Admiral Graf Spee. Built in 1932 and commissioned in 1936, Admiral Graf Spee is the German Navy's most fearsome raider. 186 meters long and at 14,890 tons, her main armament consists of 6 powerful 11-inch guns mounted in 2 triple-gun turrets, one forward and one aft of the superstructure. With a top speed of 28.5 knots, she is capable of covering vast distances, which makes her extremely difficult to locate. Additionally, the ship is armed with 8 torpedo tubes in quadruple mountings. And commanding Graf Spee is Captain Zursee Hans Langsdorff, a seasoned officer known for his tactical cunning. His mission is to disrupt British shipping in the South Atlantic, diverting their navy from key regions while maintaining radio silence and avoiding combat with enemy warships unless unavoidable. Thus, on the evening of the 21st of August 1939, she set sail from the port of Wilhelmshaven. Graf Spee navigates the Iceland-Faroes Gap, a tense passage where Royal Navy patrols could expose her. Langsdorff's crew holds their breath. But the ship passes undetected, vanishing into the Atlantic. Days later, on September the 1st, World War II erupts as German forces invade Poland. Captain Langsdorff reaches a designated waiting area in the South Atlantic, poised for orders to begin her raiding campaign. 3 weeks into the war, Langsdorff receives the signal to commence commerce raiding. He sets course for the Pernambuco coast off Brazil, eager to strike. On September the 30th, Graf Spee claims her first victim, the British merchant ship SS Clement, sunk with no casualties. And with that, Langsdorff's campaign begins. Next day, news of SS Clement's sinking reaches the British Admiralty. Alarmed, the Royal Navy and French Navy form 8 hunting groups to track and destroy the raiders in the Atlantic and Indian Oceans. Among these hunting groups, Commodore Henry Harwood leads Force G, patrolling South America's east coast with formidable firepower. His squadron includes the heavy cruiser HMS Exeter, and, in reserve, Harwood positioned the light cruisers Ajax and Achilles in the Falklands, with Port Stanley serving as his operational base. HMS Exeter is a York-class heavy cruiser. Commissioned in 1931, she is 175 meters long and 8,390 tons. Armed with 6 8-inch guns in 3 twin turrets, she reaches 32 knots. HMS Ajax, on the other hand, a light cruiser, is 169 metres long and 9,740 tons. Her 8 6-inch guns and speed of 32.5 knots make her agile, while HMS Achilles, near identical to Ajax, is manned by a New Zealand crew. Her 6-inch guns and 32.5 knot speed complement Ajax in fast, coordinated attacks. Meanwhile, Langsdorff, deep in the South Atlantic, continues to strike relentlessly. His ship unseen as the hunt intensifies. And within 17 days, he brought down 4 merchant ships. Fearing detection after his relentless raids, Langsdorff cleverly diverts Graf Spee to the Indian Ocean to confuse Allied trackers. There, he sinks another merchant ship off South Africa's coast, then inspects a neutral Dutch ship before returning to the South Atlantic. Graf Spee then rendezvous with her supply ship Altmark, refueling 300 miles from Tristan da Cunha. And on December 2nd, Graf Spee sinks her largest victim, the British merchant Doric Star, en route from Auckland to the UK. Unbeknownst to Langsdorff, Doric Star's distress signal, sent moments before her destruction 3,000 miles from South America, alerts the Allies. The next morning, Graf Spee sinks Taiaroa, continuing her rampage. After refueling from Altmark, Langsdorff sets course for the River Plate, a hub of British merchant traffic. Graf Spee sinks her final victim, Streunschal, bringing her tally to 9 ships and 50,089 tons. Aboard HMS Ajax, Commodore Harwood had received and was analysing the Doric Star's distress signal. Harwood concentrates his force at the River Plate, a critical trade choke point. At 0700, Ajax and Achilles join Exeter 150 miles east of Punta Medanos. Harwood briefs his captains to strike Graf Spee at once, day or night, with Exeter attacking from the south and Ajax and Achilles from the east to divide her fire. That evening, the squadron drills with tension mounting for the clash ahead. At 0520, Harwood's squadron, Ajax leading, followed by Achilles and Exeter, steams northeast at 14 knots, zigzagging in a single line. A signalman on Ajax spots a column of smoke on the port horizon. Harwood orders Exeter to investigate. Exeter signals by lamp, "I think it's a pocket battleship." However, Graf Spee's high lookouts have already spotted the British, identifying 1 heavy and 2 light cruisers. Admiral Graf Spee opens fire with her 11-inch guns, one turret targeting Exeter, the other Achilles. Both salvos miss. Yet Langsdorff, under orders to avoid warships, presses forward at full speed. Exeter, in retaliation, turns to 280 degrees, firing her forward 8-inch turrets at 18,700 yards. Ajax and Achilles also turn to 340 degrees, closing from the east. Exeter's aft turret fires, her salvos rattling Graf Spee. Graf Spee's third salvo then explodes near Exeter's midships, killing the starboard torpedo crew and damaging searchlights, communications, funnels, and aircraft. After that, a direct hit from Graf Spee's fourth salvo disables Exeter's B turret. Splinters sweep the bridge. To counter these attacks, Harwood orders that Exeter attacks from the south, Ajax and Achilles from the east, dividing Graf Spee's fire. The light cruisers close to 9 miles, their 6-inch guns now in range. At 0632, Exeter launches a spread of torpedoes from the starboard launcher. However, Graf Spee deploys a smokescreen. 0636, her 5.9-inch guns firing as Ajax and Achilles advance. Langsdorff, sensing danger, orders Graf Spee to turn 150 degrees northwest, retreating under smoke. In an instant, an 11-inch shell bursts near Achilles' bridge, killing 4 and wounding 6, including one Captain Parry. Exeter fires her port torpedoes, turning northeast to join Ajax and Achilles. Exeter, burning amidships with a 7-degree list, continues to fire her aft turret at Graf Spee under manual control. Graf Spee turns to port, seemingly to finish Exeter. But Ajax and Achilles race to her aid, their accurate fire setting Graf Spee ablaze amidships, forcing her to re-engage. At this point, Exeter turned away with a list to port, having suffered repeated severe hits, and withdrew under cover of a smokescreen. An 11-inch shell disables Ajax's aft turrets. Ajax retaliates with 4 torpedoes at 9,000 yards. Graf Spee evades, turning to port. Exeter, with all turrets inoperative, turns southeast for repairs. The battle shifts to a chase, shadowing her toward Montevideo. Exeter, flooded and listing, heads to the Falklands, with 61 dead and 23 wounded. Graf Spee then enters a neutral territory, Montevideo, Uruguay, for repairs. Langsdorff reports 36 dead and 60 wounded. The ship has sustained 18 hits, with damage to her fuel system and galley, making a transatlantic return to Germany impossible. In Montevideo, Langsdorff requested permission for a long enough stay to make his vessel seaworthy. But Uruguay, under neutrality laws, grants Graf Spee 72 hours to leave port. To take advantage of that, the British diplomats began to spread disinformation, suggesting a massive Royal Navy fleet, including HMS Renown and Ark Royal, waits offshore. At this point, Langsdorff faces a dilemma: fight a hopeless battle or abandon ship. At 6:30 p.m. on the 17th of December, Graf Spee sails away from Montevideo harbour. At about 1900, the pocket battleship reached her anchorage outside territorial waters. Then, just as the sun was setting over the Argentinian coast to the west, at 7:54 p.m., the first of several scuttling charges detonates in the engine room. This blast blew the stern off the ship and hurled the after 11-inch gun barrels into the air. In Buenos Aires, Langsdorff, driven by guilt, writes letters to his family and superiors. Wrapping himself in Graf Spee's ensign, he takes his own life, ending his campaign. The Battle of the River Plate is the Royal Navy's first major victory of World War II. The scuttling of Graf Spee boosts Allied morale, proving even Germany's mightiest raiders can be defeated.